Good morning, boys, and welcome to Tuesday, May 11th. Let's start our day in prayer. Let's fold our hands and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for my mommy, and I just want to say how much I love her on this Mother's Day. Amen. All right, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Sometimes we don't have time to do that, and I thought we should fit that in today. So let's put our hands over our hearts. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. See the colors in the flag, in the flag, in the flag. See the colors in the flag, they're red, white, and blue. All right. All right, so let's jump into this day. We're going to be talking about ants, a little bit about ants, and then we're going to be talking about helmet safety. The first thing I want to let you know, we have a book called Hey Little Ant. Hey Little Ant. Oops, drop that. Hey Little Ant. So we're going to be listening to that. That's going to be on a separate video, so I've already recorded that. We're going to do our Scholastic Hooray for Helmets. And with that, we have Show What You Know, we have an Unscramble the Sentence, and we have Make Your Own Driver's License. So they're the three things that are going to go on with our Let's Find Out Hooray for Helmets, and we're going to also watch a video that goes with that. We are going to work on ants in the picnic basket, this worksheet, and we're also going to do our Bible lesson. And our Bible lesson is called Let Us Love Each Other. Let us love each other. Okay, so let's start with our ants at the picnic. Okay, I did one as an example for you, but I cut it before you could see it. So I'm going to do it again. We're going to start with our ants, and we're just going to trace that path that's going to our basket. We're going to start with the ants and trace the path going to our basket. And then after we're done that, we're going to take our scissors and we are going to cut. Okay, and then we're going to stop when we get to the picnic basket. And we're going to continue on. We're going to do it a total of 4 times. Just continuing to trace and doing our best work. I'm going to trace all of mine first. Okay. We're going to trace them all. And then again, we're going to start with our ant. And we're going to start cutting till we get to our picnic basket. Same thing here. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to trace it, and then you're going to cut it. If you want to go back afterwards and color the basket in, you can do that. Not necessary, but if you want to, that's fine. And I want to point out, if you look at the top of my paper, I wrote my name and I underlined the S because S is the letter of the week, which we're going to do now. And S is the first letter of my name. So if your name is Sheila, Sean, Santino, or Sydney, you're going to have a capital S. If your name is Joshua, you're going to have an S in your name. Same as Justin in our class. He has an S in his name. Things that begin with S are soup, seal, sunflower, sock, and saw. They are all S words. Today in class, your friends thought of some more. They thought of summer, the seashore. They said shout. They said sing. So these were all a smell. They said smell too. They're all S words. All right, so you can put your ants and the baskets aside. Good job on them. And let's move on to our Bible lesson. Now, I've already cut out your brush and I've attached it to Craig's hand. So it should move up and down pretty well for you, hopefully. So the instructions are telling us to do that. And then they're saying paint or color the picture in. So we already did this with the paintbrush. You can move it so you can see Craig painting. And you can start coloring it while I read. And we're going to be reading about the Help Daddy shirt. Craig was a good helper at home. He did lots of things without being told, like dressing himself and going straight home from kindergarten. There were some things that Craig liked to do best, like mixing meatballs with Mom. He especially liked helping Daddy. And one day when Craig came home from school, Daddy was lying on his back on the lawn, and there were paint cans and brushes all around him. And Craig said, what are you doing, Daddy? Are you sick? No, I've been painting this fence all afternoon and it hurts my back from bending over, Daddy answered. So let me help, Daddy, begged Craig. I can paint the low parts so you don't have to bend over. Do you have on old clothes? Daddy asked. I got this shirt a long time ago, Craig answered. Okay, Daddy said. Maybe you can paint this corner down here for me. My hands are too big. So quickly, Craig bent down and he looked at the corner of the fence. I can do that, Daddy, he said. Good, Daddy said. And Daddy gave Craig a paintbrush and he showed him how to dip the paint in just right. So Craig bent down again and brushed the paint on the fence back and forth, just like Daddy showed him. Soon, Craig's corner was all finished. Look, Daddy, Craig said. As Daddy turned to look, he bumped the paint can and it started to slip off the fence. Greg jumped up and he caught it and a little paint splattered on his shirt. Whew, Daddy said as he was laughing. Thanks a lot. I don't know what I would do without my helper. Am I a good helper? Said Craig. You sure are, Daddy said. Now see if you can reach down and paint this corner and that one, Daddy pointed. Painting the corners was easy for Craig. Soon he was done. I guess we better clean up and go to dinner, Daddy said. Just then, Mommy came out of the kitchen. Craig, what happened? I was helping Daddy paint the fence, Craig said. Daddy laughed as he looked at the paint splattered on his clothes. Craig painted the corners I couldn't reach. And he caught the paint can too, so it didn't spill all over the lawn. I guess good helpers get messy. I like to help Daddy paint, said Craig. Mommy laughed. Well, I guess we could call this shirt the Help Daddy shirt. That's a good idea, Daddy said. Now, Craig, let's get cleaned up. Craig smiled as he looked down on the Help Daddy shirt. Daddy, Craig asked, when can I help again? Okay, so let's talk about the story. How did he help Daddy? How did Craig help Daddy? He helped him paint the lower parts and the corners of the fence that Daddy couldn't reach. And how did Craig's shirt get paint on it? Here's the clue. The paint's up there on the top of the fence, and what happens? Daddy knocks it, and Craig jumps up and catches it, and it's splattered all over the front of his shirt. And what did Mommy call Craig's shirt? Do you remember? The Help Daddy shirt. So it was called the Help Daddy shirt. Let us help one another. That's what the Bible says. We can ask God to help us show love to the people in our families. So when you pray tonight, you can ask God to help you show love to your family and your friends, to Miss Amanda, to people that you see every day or people that you just see once in a while. We need to show love to each other. That's what God's asking us to do. So if you're not done coloring this or painting it, just put it aside and you can do that at the end of our lesson. All right, the story that that we're going to share today, Hey Little Ant, Amanda, that's on a separate video. There's going to be, actually there's going to be 3 videos today because there's going to be this video, there's going to be the Little Ant, Hey Little Ant video, and then there's going to be the Scholastic video. And we're going to jump into Scholastic now. Okay, so let's find out. Hooray for helmets. And there's 2 things that they're telling us here. The first, it says, make sure your helmet's on straight on the top of your head. And the second one says, make sure that that helmet strap is clipped on the bottom to hold that helmet on. Wear a helmet the right way. It could save your brain, your thinking cap. All right, so let's open up our packet. I am glad I wore a helmet. Look at number 1. It's in red right here. Okay, so it says that this is Max, and he's going to tell his story. He got on his bike and he rode very fast and he hit a bump. So we're going to go over to number 2 in the orange right here. Oh no, look, he's on the ground and it looks like he hit his head. Crash! I fell and I hit my head, and I'm very glad that I wore my helmet. Okay, and if you move to number 3, it says, 3 is in yellow. I cut my leg and it hurt a little bit, but my head was okay. Right here. And then number 4, I gave my dad a high five. I got back on my bike and off we went. Let's go. Off we went in the green. So that's, that's good because he just had a little scrape on his leg, but he protected his head. Now, let's look over here and talk about this. You could talk about this with Miss Amanda. Is this safe? We're looking at this picture. First of all, these bikes are so cool. Look at these big wheels in the front and little wheels on the bottom. But also, look how high off the ground they are. They're very high off the ground. And it says here, they didn't have helmets. There were no helmets long ago. And how are these bicycles different from our bicycles today? And do you think riding bikes, that this bike was safe? Why or why not? So you can answer those questions. And then you can look back here at some pictures and you can color in the smiley face or the sad face, depending on are the rules being followed. And you can do this after you watch the video. That might help you. But you can see that his helmet is on right. It's covering his head. It's on straight. And this helmet is drooping down. You can't even see. All right. And is her chin strapped? And look at this helmet. Is it covering the forehead just like this one is to protect your brain? So you can decide for yourself, happy face or sad face. All right. Make a driver's license. This is fun. You can just cut this out, okay, and you can write your name on here. It says write your name, and then it says you can draw or paste a picture on here of yourself, and then the questions are, you have to check these off. I always wear my helmet, I ride in safe places with no traffic, and I watch what's in front of me. So you have to decide, you do these 3 things, and you put a check mark, and you cut this out and fold it in half like this, and there is your license for your bike or your scooter. Okay, the second worksheet is unscramble the sentence. So we are going to cut out the bottom words here. All right, and this is on the unscramble the sentence worksheet. Okay, unscramble the sentence, glue the words here, and we can write the sentence. Okay, so we're going to have 4 words. And remember, these are our 4 words. We're going to cut them out. And remember, our sentences always begin with a capital letter. And they always end with a period after the last word, a period, a small dot. So if we look at our 4 words, the only one that's capitalized is I. So we're going to kind of think that I is going to be the first word in our sentence. I'm going to grab my glue stick. All right, and I'm going to start with I. All right, I'm going to glue that right here, the beginning of my sentence, I. So, I helmet, I wear. So I think our next word would be wear. I wear. And remember, helmet's going to be our last word because it has that little period. So I wear a what? What's that last word with the period? I wear a helmet. I wear a helmet. I wear a helmet. There's our sentence. Now, you're going to take your time and you're going to write that sentence underneath. I wear a helmet. Don't forget your period at the end. I wear a helmet. Now, so it's asking us to cut glue, right? And then the last thing it's asking us to do is go back and color our picture. And of course, you could do that at the end, or you could pause the video, whichever you want to do. All right, so at this point, I would suggest that you do pause the video and you watch our Scholastic video on Hooray for Helmets. And then we'll come back and we will do Show What You Know. So pause the video and pause this video and watch the video and come back to Show What You Know. All right, show what you know. We have 4 questions that they're asking us. All right, so let's put our name on the top and point to our number 1. Okay, when Max fell, what part of his body got hurt? Remember when Max fell in the brochure, in the booklet, the Scholastic handout, when Max fell, what part of his body did he hurt? Did he hurt his head or did he hurt his leg?